Why leaving a toxic relationship feels impossible. There's a question that haunts so many people at night, a question whispered in tears, in silence, in shame. If they hurt me so much, why can't I just leave? You replay the arguments. You remember the disrespect. You feel the exhaustion in your bones. Yet somehow, you stay. And the worst part isn't that you stayed. The worst part is that you don't understand yourself anymore. In the last episode, we talked about why narcissists are attracted to good people, how empathy, compassion, and a giving heart can make you a target. But today we're going deeper, because knowing who they are doesn't explain why you're still there. This episode is not about judging you, it's about understanding you. Because leaving a toxic relationship is not just a decision, it's a psychological battle, a spiritual struggle, an emotional war between what you know and what you feel. Psychology calls it trauma bonding. It happens when pain and affection become intertwined, when love is inconsistent, when affection is given and taken away, when moments of warmth are followed by cold silence. Your brain doesn't register this as danger. It registers it as hope. Because every time they are kind again, your mind says, maybe this time is different. And that hope becomes addictive, not because you're weak, but because your nervous system has been trained to survive chaos. Many people don't stay because they love the person. They stay because they're trying to relieve the pain the same person is causing. That's not love. That's emotional captivity. The Bible describes this kind of bondage clearly. In Proverbs 26:11, it says, "As a dog returns to its vomit, so a fool repeats his folly." That verse sounds harsh, but it's not about insult. It's about cycles. Pain that becomes familiar feels safer than peace that feels unknown. And this is where many good people get stuck. You don't miss them. You miss who you were when things felt good. You don't crave the abuse. You crave the relief that comes after it. So leaving feels like losing oxygen, and then comes the guilt. You start thinking, maybe I didn't try hard enough. Maybe if I loved better, prayed harder, stayed quieter. But hear this truth carefully. Love does not require self-erasure. Commitment does not require suffering. And patience does not mean tolerating abuse. In Galatians 5:1, the Bible says, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery." Some relationships are not tests of endurance. They are chains disguised as commitment. Leaving feels impossible because somewhere along the way, you lost yourself. Your boundaries dissolved. Your voice softened. Your needs became negotiable. Your identity became tied to their approval. And when you try to leave, it feels like you're abandoning a part of yourself. But the truth is, you've already been abandoning yourself by staying. There's also fear, fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear that no one else will love you, fear that maybe this is all you deserve. But fear is not discernment, and comfort is not confirmation. The Bible says in 2 Timothy 1:7, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." If staying requires fear, confusion, and self-doubt, that is not love, and that is not God. Many people stay because they confuse potential with reality. You fall in love with who they could be. You cling to the version of them you saw in the beginning. You wait for the apology that never comes, the change that never lasts. But potential is not a promise, and hope without evidence becomes self-betrayal. Jesus never chased people who refused to change. He offered truth and let people choose. In Matthew 10:14, he said, "If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, leave and shake the dust off your feet." Walking away is not failure. Sometimes it's obedience. Leaving feels impossible because your heart is still tied to a version of the past that no longer exists. But healing begins when you stop asking, why do I love them? And start asking, why do I tolerate pain? This is not about blame. It's about awakening. And awakening always hurts before it heals. If you're listening to this and feeling exposed, if your chest feels heavy, if tears are close, that's not weakness. That's your spirit recognizing truth. In the next episode, we're going to talk about something many people don't realize until it's too late: the silent damage toxic relationships cause, the changes that happen slowly, quietly, internally. And if you missed episode 1 or 2, go back and watch them. Understanding the pattern is how you break it. You are not broken. You are not foolish. You are not weak. You stayed because you hoped. And hope is not a flaw. But now it's time to hope for yourself. If this message spoke to you, like this video so it reaches others who are struggling silently. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episode in this healing series. And share this with someone who needs permission to choose themselves. Your freedom is closer than you think, and your healing has already begun.